So I got two comments fairly recently on my video about how I think Emu could possibly be a parrot that has eaten a Zoan type devil fruit, and one of them was from Eddie Whitcraft 2165 and another was from Who is U6D. And they're basically saying the same thing. It's the idea that Emu created all the devil fruits that we know. One is saying that since they are a parrot, presumably the fact that fruits are named in a repeating fashion could be like a parrot repeating itself, like bird bird or horse horse or gum gum or arms, you know? But the other is talking about how, seeing as how Emu's devil fruit is just called the devil's fruit, there's a very high chance that they created all the devil fruits. The reason why I don't think this is the case is because based on what we have seen from Emu so far, they are a Zoan. They are a mythical Zoan, because they have the ability of transformation and they've been doing some very Paramecia-like abilities so far. And we know that mythical Zoans do specialize in having Paramecia-like abilities. So with that being said, they aren't powerful enough to be the origin of all the devil fruits in the series so far. They have a solid body, they can be hit, so they don't have Loki abilities. And based on what we have seen so far, their abilities lie within a very specific moveset. All the time we've seen them fight, they summon black flames, and those black flames seem to have dominion over weapons or produce some sort of steel balls of some sort. So it's very specific as to what Emu can do. And then of course we get into the whole covenant talk and all that, but still that seems like a very specific power that can just be distributed in levels. It doesn't seem like Emu has a whole slew of abilities that are unrelated to one another. They seem very thematic and very practical in what they can do. They do have a number of abilities, but all of them seem to relate to one another in some way or fashion. And even when you consider the immortality bit, the people afflicted with immortality still kind of have like a weird flame effect when they regenerate, or something being filled in from being burnt, if that makes sense. So I would still say, even when you consider the immortality and all the covenant seals and all that, it's still pretty thematic. Even the magic circles are thematic because they summon black fire as well. So I do think that Emu is possibly a parrot that ate some sort of bat fruit. And again, the reason why I think that is because they give everybody that they inflict with their various abilities bat wings, yet they themselves don't have bat wings. But I think the reason why they have bird wings is because they are a parrot, and this is very reminiscent of various times in which animals have eaten Zoan fruits in the past. They keep some qualities of their animal bodies on their person. Emu's just a little better at hiding it. So like how, say, Chopper always looks like a weird furry reindeer guy even when he's in his full human state, or how Pierre, Ganfal's bird, can become a Pegasus when it becomes a horse, keeping its bird wings attached to its horse body. Or like, say, Peckham's. We haven't really seen Peckham's fully transform into a turtle, but it's interesting that he keeps his lion tail when he is guarding himself in turtle form. So I say that to say that the bird wings that Emu brings out are most likely their wings, because those are the wings that they use to naturally fly. So they would depend on those as opposed to wings provided by the devil fruit. And then if Emu is the figure in the mural, I'm not even sure if the figure in the mural can fly, because, for example, when Emu is attacking Sabo, they seem very almost disabled because they crawl along the ground using their big grabby hands. They don't seem very agile. And the thing about the figure in the mural is that it seems as though it's rooted into the ground, which is quite odd. Even though it has bat wings from what we have seen, it doesn't seem capable of flight. So to that degree, I'm not really sure. But I don't think that Emu is as grandiose as people are making them out to be. I think it's still just a bird or a person whom has eaten a mythical zoan fruit, and they are just very adept at using that fruit. It would bring things back around full circle to have one of the most prominent villains in the series be an animal that has eaten a zoan fruit, because that's how zoan fruits were canonically introduced. We had a regular guy who was eating a zoan fruit in Dalton, but then we had a weird situation in which Chopper, a reindeer, ate the human fruit. So I think that's a very poetic way of presenting one of the biggest, baddest bosses in One Piece by having them be a parrot that has eaten a mythical zoan fruit. And it would be very interesting because so far, we haven't really had that many animals eat mythical zoan fruits. So even in that way, Emu is fairly unique. But with that being said, if you are enjoying the video so far, click the like button. And if you want to see more from me, click the subscribe button, followed by that bell so you never miss a video. In addition to, if you could, hit the hype button because it really does help. And with that being said, give me your thoughts and tell your friends about Polypede. What's